Hey everyone, and welcome back to Robbie's Backstage Bants. Today I have a super special guest all the way from Dirty Dancing. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, my name is Daisy Steere and I play the part of Lisa Houseman in Dirty Dancing.
So exciting. Dirty Dancing is one of my favorite movies. It's my mom's favorite movie, so it's been passed down to me through through that. So I've seen it a million times, probably more. Um, so this is really exciting. I'm really excited to be chatting with you today. Um, the first question I've got for you is more about training and getting into the industry. Not necessarily training, you don't have to train. But what is the journey of how you got to where you are today?
I'm actually from a very stagey family. So it was kind of always going to be kind of my route in life.
Mm,
I started when I was 3, and then my parents at the time, they were dancers. My grandma and granddad trained at the Guildhall. My cousin went to Guildford. My uncle was an actor. So it kind of was like everywhere in my life.
mm,
So I've been dancing for a really long time, and then I went to the Brit School
yeah.
for my like sixth form, so from year 12 and year 13, and then I went to Arts Ed in Chiswick for my kind of professional training. I always went through a local dance school called Betty Whipple Academy, which was absolutely amazing, and I was there like every night from the age of 3
Oh,
to 8. So um, so yeah, a lot of training done. Um, but yeah, it's
but
all
it pays
worked
off.
out.
Yeah, it
Yes,
worked out. I'm so glad it worked out. And it's great that you come from such a stagey family. That's it's really awesome.
I know it's kind of crazy. My cousin actually at the moment is because I'm obviously at the moment this week I'm in Liverpool, and
Yeah.
my cousin's no, I'm not in Liverpool, I'm in Oxford, and my cousin's performing in Lord of the Rings at the Watermill. So he's literally down the road. So it's so funny because it's like half my family are watching him and then half the family are here. So
And then they'll swap over.
yeah, so weird.
Amazing. Oh, that's lovely. Now obviously Dirty Dancing. What was the audition process like for this role?
Well, I have been in and out for Dirty Dancing since 2016. So I've kind of auditioned loads of times over the
Yeah.
years. Um, Sometimes in for Baby, sometimes in for Lisa.
Wow.
And then for this specific tour, I actually was in for the West End version.
Hmm.
Um, and then I ended up doing another show called The Nativity at Christmas instead. So then they got back in touch for the tour, and they kind of sent an email saying, "Would you like to be considered?" And I was like, "Yes." And then they
Yeah.
offered it to me, which was nice.
That's
So I guess
awesome.
because I'd done lots of auditions, I think for West End, I
Mm.
think then they just thought, you know what, let's not put her through the trauma again.
Let's not give her another one.
Yeah, yeah. So it's
Good.
probably about I think about 5 auditions altogether this time round, I'd say.
That's a lot of auditions. Was so you actually have had a dance call, etc.
Yes,
etc.
for this part, because she doesn't really dance, she's
Mm.
more of like comic relief of the show.
Yeah.
So I had script and I had to do some like the song she sings in the show.
Yeah.
Whereas obviously for the it's like loads of dancing. But yeah, for this specific part that I'm playing this time round, there was no dancing. It was just kind of it was mainly like comedy.
Yeah. Which is really fun. Yeah.
Oh, so
Yeah.
literally, yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad. That's great. Um, I think this is like a really stupid question, but anyway, were you a fan of the film before you started performing in Dirty Dancing?
Yeah, so I did love the film. I guess it's like a classic, isn't it? You kind of grow
Yeah.
up, you watch it when you're a bit younger, and then they're such iconic people in the film. And yeah, no, I did really like the film, and I guess because I was in for it so many times over the years, I've watched it to kind of like top up my knowledge and be like,
Mm.
right, remind me of characters what where this scene comes or what this song's in relation to. So I think I've also watched it over the past like more of my adult life in terms of if I'm going in for the show, just to kind of refresh my memory on it.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's got such amazing songs in it. The audience are literally on board with you from the beginning because they know all the songs, and it's like, oh, that moment, oh, that
Yeah,
iconic moment.
absolutely. I do think it's one of those, like as you said, it's a classic, and so many people love it and will come back time and time again because of the movie as well as because of the stage show, which is great, I imagine. And you must be an expert now.
Well, I think I hope so. I mean, we're about, how long are we in? Feb, March, April, May, June, July. We're 6 months in. So I think we're quite knowledgeable now. I'd hope.
You know it too well now.
Yeah,
I think you know
yeah.
it just a little bit too well. I could quiz you, but I'm not going to put you through that pressure.
Oh,
Um,
no.
no, not today, not today. Maybe another time. Do you have a favorite moment in the show that just really stands out to you as this is my favorite part?
Oh God, there's so many. To
Good.
be honest, probably has to be an iconic line that Johnny says, because honestly, the audience's reaction, like hearing them all just longing for that line when he comes out at the end and he says, "Nobody puts baby in the corner."
Yeah.
It's so amazing to be on stage, just feel the audience's reaction. And I think by that, they're so on your side as well. And then obviously you're leading up to the big finale. So I think that probably is my favorite moment, because every single person's on stage, we're all together feeling that. And then
Yeah.
obviously he gives it a little beat before he says it, because he knows everyone's waiting for it.
Everyone's
And then when he
like,
finally, they go mad. So that's quite a special moment.
have many audiences sort of said it along with him in the
Oh God, yeah. They
yeah.
scream at him. They literally shout at him. He obviously has to like cleverly make sure he says it at the right time, because sometimes they're screaming so much that it's actually hard for him to get it out.
Yeah. Well, that's a thing that happens now, apparently.
Yeah.
But that shows the popularity, I suppose, of the
Oh, yeah.
story of the movie, and I guess you guys feel that support quite a lot.
Yeah. Amazing. Some of the cities I've toured quite a lot, but some of the response. I mean, when we were in Liverpool, for example, when Baby goes up in that lift,
Mm.
the response from the audience, honestly, it gave me tears in my eyes, because it was so massive. And I've done loads of shows, lots of like cult shows like Jersey Boys, and but the response of that moment is pretty epic when everyone in the audience is so waiting for like something so specific.
Yeah, yeah, and they are waiting for that, and that is
Yeah.
exciting. I mean, I'd be waiting for your song particularly. That's one of my favorite parts of the movie. So
Do you know what? It's really funny you say that, because when I didn't get Town and then I went to watch it when I got the tour, it was Georgie Castle was playing it at the time, and you do genuinely feel, I could feel everybody around me like waiting for that song.
yeah,
So it is quite funny, because obviously for me it's just such good fun. Like I get to be so silly and like really play around, and but it is lovely to feel the audience are kind of with you.
yeah,
So
no,
yeah, it's
100%. That song, I look forward to that. That is it's one of my favorite parts. Um, do you have a favorite number? Or talking about songs, do you have a favorite number in the show?
I mean, I love when the ensemble are doing, the song Yes, and they are
Mm,
dancing full out. Maybe Yes, because watching
mm.
them do all that, the ensemble are the most incredible ensemble I've ever worked with in my life. Literally,
Wow.
from the end, they are dancing like their lives depend on it. It's so inspirational. I still, to this day, stand in the wings with my friend Christian while they're doing Love Man, who plays another character in the show. And we watch them, and every night I say to him, I'm like, these guys are absolutely insane. So it's really hard to pick my favorite number, because every time the ensemble are on stage, everything they do is like sensational in terms of like lifts, partner work, choreo. Oh God, I'm gonna go with Yes.
Yeah, good choice. Yeah, absolutely.
And it's great. And
Yeah,
Lydia, who sings it, is absolutely phenomenal. So that helps.
yeah. Well, it's always a bonus. You mentioned you've toured quite a lot. But which venue? Maybe let's go from the start of the tour. Which venue were you most looking forward to visiting, or still are looking forward to visiting? Which one's your top?
Ooh, that's so hard. I mean, obviously we're in Oxford at the moment,
Mm,
and it's beautiful, so it's like so stunning. But then I love to do the ones like Leeds, because you're near the Yorkshire Dales, so you can go on your days off and like explore. And
yeah.
then you have, whenever you go to Scotland, Newcastle, you always have the most insane audiences, because everyone loves a drink and they're really
Yeah.
lively, and that's really fun. And same with Liverpool. God, it's so hard. We're not doing Edinburgh this time. Edinburgh's one of my favourites, but we're not actually doing it on
Oh,
this one. I do love Oxford. And I do love Newcastle. I mean, there's only a couple that I don't love, and I won't say what they are.
That is top secret classified information.
Top secret information.
You're going to release that in like a tell-all book, like at the end of your
Exactly.
career. That's coming out.
Yeah, on
Yeah.
my deathbed, no one
Yeah.
can come for me.
Deathbed confessions. These venues. No thanks. Yeah. Yeah. I would be there. I would like to know. You said you've been doing this show for a long time now. So have you had any onstage mishaps that you find quite funny?
Oh, let me think. I mean, I'm trying to think. There's been one of our lovely older guys in the show. He's called Mark, and I love him dearly. He's called Mark McKerricker. He's a bit of an icon in musical theatre. He's done like every part under the sun.
Wow.
And I was on Second Street with him a few years ago in town. Anyway, this is the most recent one that comes to mind. He bless him, he thought he was done for Act 1, so he was chilling in his dressing room, and then all of a sudden he could hear over the tannoy his scene, and we're all sat like waiting for him to come on. And then he ran on the stage, bless him, he was so late, and he was so panicked up. It was like it's a quite like amazing scene in the show, because it's like a political speech that happens. I won't ruin it too much, but basically Mark runs on the stage. He's so panicked, his costume's all like upside down, and he looks like he's been dragged through a hedge, and then he grabs this bottle of Coke off the props pan, no idea why. Then he runs onto stage literally with this bottle of Coke in his hand, and we're literally looking at him. You can see people are crying with laughter because it's just so funny. So that was quite a funny one. When people miss their entrances, that's quite iconic. Oh, last night, guy playing Johnny, who's an absolute babe, he went to open the door. When he first walks on, the door wouldn't open. We had to walk around the door instead. So that happened like all the time.
I love it when these things happen. That's just live theatre, and it's just it makes it more real. I think you just go, oh yeah,
Exactly. Yeah,
and I bet you guys all have a laugh about it after the show as well.
Oh, sometimes you have tears streaming down your face, because also you're not allowed to laugh. It's even worse, isn't it? Because stop laughing yourself, do not laugh, but then it makes it harder.
I feel that one. Yeah, absolutely. If you could play another character in the show, who would you choose?
Good question. It'd have to be Baby.
Yeah,
gotta be. I mean, Penny is a gorgeous part as well, but to be honest, I don't have the legs for Penny, the like long like flexibility, so that would be quite stressful. I think with Baby, it's such a blessing of a part, because you don't have to stress about singing, you don't really have to worry about dancing, and you get some really lovely scenes. I think it's got to be Baby.
I would. Yeah, I'd love to see you as Baby. Let's go for that next tour.
Yeah, you never know.
Anything can happen. This is going to always happen. Now, I have one final question, and it's quite a broad question. But obviously, the show is coming to Newcastle very, very soon.
Yeah.
I will put all the information for that in the description. But why should people come and see the show?
Literally, if you want a feel-good, upbeat, insanely choreographed spectacle of a show with wonderful acting, amazing singing, and like absolutely fantastic dancers, I just don't think you can go wrong. This is a classic like Friday night. Get your girls, drag your husband along, get your glass of prosecco, and just sit back and just leave your worries at the door. There's nothing too like deep about the show. It's just absolutely feel good, fantastic show. So
absolutely,
definitely
100% agree there. And that runs in Newcastle from the 1st of August.
Yeah,
that's right. Until the Saturday. So that's Tuesday till Saturday, which is next week. This will probably get released on Saturday, so you've got this week to come and see it, everyone, in Newcastle. And obviously the tour continues after that. I will put some more tour dates and everything in the description. So if you want to go and catch Dirty Dancing on tour because it is phenomenal. It is exciting, and everything that we've just been told by Daisy pretty much is what you need to know. But aside from that, I just want to thank you for joining me today. It's been such a pleasure.
No problem. It's so fun to talk about the show, and I've never done any of these pressings for the show before, so it's
Oh,
exciting.
well, I'm so glad that I've been your first press thing. That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad. Well, thank you for joining me, and I want to thank anyone for watching. You can like, comment, and subscribe if you have enjoyed this. Go see Dirty Dancing, and I'll see you all in the next one.